This is the Vexilar Ice-Ducer transducer, the world's first self-leveling transducer. That's right, Vexilar invented and patented the self-leveling transducer because in ice fishing, you need the transducer to point straight down the hole. And that's what the Vexilar Ice-Ducer does. When you suspend it above its float, it'll hang straight down, giving you the best signal possible. Now, Vexilar uses a barium titanate material inside of all of its crystals. Now, barium titanate is a very expensive material, but it's best suited for use in cold weather. So it'll extend the life of your transducer. Okay, how long does a transducer last? Well, that's a debatable question. Sometimes I've had them last 15 years, and sometimes I've only had them last 2 or 3 years. But by and large, if you take care of your transducer, you should get many, many years of long life out of your transducer. Now, how does or what does a transducer actually do? Well, it's important you understand this because you want to take care of it. Because if you cut the wire, for example, you could damage the performance of your crystal. And if you drop it or crack internally the crystal, you could damage the performance, because this is what happens. Your Vexilar head unit sends a sonar, a bolt of electricity to the crystal, okay? The crystal then turns it into sound and sends it down to the bottom. The sound echoes back and it turns it back into electricity and comes back into your unit. So if you have a broken wire or a damaged cable, it could definitely damage the performance of your transducer crystal. If you drop or crack your crystal, the ability for the crystal to turn electricity into sound and sound back into electricity can be a real problem. Now, one of the first telltale signs you'll see of this is interference. No matter what you do, you can't get rid of the interference. You see, a crystal that starts to develop a ring will have this interference thing that you just can't seem to get rid of. Also, you'll notice that if you have to turn up your gain to be able to see your lure, that's another sign of a weak transducer. For some reason, it's not transferring the sound back into energy very well. So by turning up your gain, that's an indication. Now, how can you check for sure? Simple. Just borrow a transducer from one of your buddies when you're out fishing, and you'll see just in a second if it works or better or not, and you can identify the problem. And then you can buy a transducer. Now, which transducer is right for you? Well, you see, all Vexilar Ice-Ducer transducers are interchangeable with any of the Vexilar flashers. That's not the problem. You want to get the transducer that works best for your specific type of fishing. I know many people only fish one lake or one type of situation, so let's walk it through. The 19 degree is very popular with a lot of anglers, but it's designed for depths in 30 foot of water or less. Okay, and if you're fishing with a lot of guys, you'll find that the wider beam transducer is harder to knock out interference with too. So if you fish it with a lot of anglers and you fish in waters, say 30 foot or deeper, the 19 degree may not be the best choice for you. Shallow water use, 19 can't be beat. The 12 degree is the best all-around transducer that Vexilar offers, and it comes with a lot of the systems that have zoom zone capabilities. The 19, then you have the 12. This is the 12. Well, the 12 gives you a narrower beam and increases the performance of the zoom zone features to give you tighter resolution to the bottom. So we often say when you're fishing in 45 foot of water or less, the 12 degree is a great choice. The ultimate transducer that Vexilar offers is the ProView Ice-Ducer. Now, it's larger. The larger transducer crystal is necessary because you can control the shape of the sound more with a larger crystal. In any depth, you can use the ProView. There's no limit to the depth that you can use the ProView on. And it functions differently in many ways than the 19 or the 12 in how you fish it. You see, the 19 and the 12, you usually always keep your gain set as low as possible, 0 or maybe 1 at the most. Because if you turn your gain up too high, other sounds can leak in and you get a lot more interference. The ProView is designed to fish where you can actually control the size of the cone by adjusting your gain setting. And if you're fishing with a lot of other anglers, like in a fish house with 3 or 4 guys all the time, and you're fishing in deep water scenarios, the ProView is the ultimate choice because it offers the best solution to interference problems. So there you have it, the 3 Vexilar options. The 19 for use of 30 foot of water or less, the 12 for 45 foot of water or less, or the ProView for almost any application.